Good day. I apologize for not posting something that happened recently, and that has something to do with the One Health Pass. There was something wrong with it, and as a result of that, I sent a letter to the Philippine Consulate General in New York City asking them to please forward this complaint or whatever you call it to let them know about the problem with the One Health Pass registration. We'll talk about it. Stay with me. Well, this morning I found out that they finally corrected the issue. The issue is, 1, you are not allowed to register until 1 day, 24 hours, before your arrival in the Philippines. Well, guess what, guys? In many cases, your flight to the Philippines takes 24, 25, maybe 23 hours, and in some cases even 36 or 48 hours. So it takes longer than that. But for you to be able to board that flight you have going to the Philippines, you need to show this QR code. To get the QR code, you have to register, and to register, you have to wait 24 hours within 24 hours before you arrive in the Philippines. And that's an issue. So I watched some vloggers, and what they suggested, of course, is to fake the date. So let's say you're leaving 3 days from now or 4 days from now, register and put your arrival time as something sooner within 24 hours. Of course, not that far. So maybe 1 day before your arrival, go ahead and do it, but then fake the date so that you are within the 24-hour time frame. This time they changed it. It now says, I think it's now 48 hours before departure time. And departure time is flexible. See, for one thing, it takes, let's say, from the East Coast, takes about 24 hours to get to the Philippines. And in some cases, longer. And that is not to mention the fact that there is a time difference. Philippines is advanced by 12 hours compared to, let's say, the East Coast in the United States. So there you are. You lose time. There is no way you can register within that time frame. So whoever created that regulation does not even know or does not have any experience in traveling and does not realize the complexities involved with this. So now they fix the problem. Let's take a look on how it is done. The first thing you have to do is to figure out, where do I register and how do I register? Go to your favorite browser. In my case, I'm using Mozilla Firefox. But go to your browser. It could be Edge. It could be Google Chrome, whatever it is. And then here, this is the URL line. Just type in One Health Pass. As soon as you enter that, it will bring you to this page and go under One Health Pass registration. Or if you want, you can just, on the URL line, you can just type in onehealthpassregistration.com.ph. So no spaces, of course, and in the Philippines, you'll have to put after the .com.ph. It will get you to this page. Starting May 3rd, this is the new process for One Health Pass registration for incoming international travelers, okay? And today is May 5th, by the way. So this has been in effect for 2 days, but they just corrected this today. Quick guide to One Health Pass registration. There are multiple steps. Step 1. Within 48 hours prior to departure time, you can register to One Health Pass portal. This is the portal that we're talking about. 48 hours. That used to be 24 hours and arrival time before. That's before. Today, it's within 48 hours of departure time. This makes more sense because it doesn't matter if it takes you 24 hours, 48 hours, or even longer. They look at departure time, your departure time, not your arrival time in the Philippines. Upload the following necessary documents during registration, if available: PCR test, vaccine certificate. 2 pieces. Your either antigen test or PCR test, 1, and 2, vaccine certificate. And after that, a barcode will appear once the registration is submitted. Step 3 is, within 24 hours prior to your departure time, check your email to answer your health declaration checklist. Yep. So it's very important that you put an accurate email address, because that's how you will get it back. If you have the wrong address, you'll be waiting for nothing and nothing is coming back, okay? Now, here's your step 4. Upon check-in, airline personnel will ask you for your One Health Pass registration. Step 5, within 24 hours to 1 hour prior to your departure, you must check your One Health Pass registration. Keep in mind that you will also have a QR code, and that is any of this, the barcode or the QR code, is what is important for you to be able to get on the plane. It says here, so they should make a change here. Okay, now they removed the date there. When are you departure going to the Philippines? When are you departure? They should correct this, but this is just English. You will have to put the date here. Okay, when you click here, there's the calendar. So let's say for now that your departure is going to be on Saturday the 7th. Again, today is the 5th, so the 7th. When are you arriving in the Philippines? So let's say your arrival time in the Philippines is not until the 10th. 7, 8, 9, 10. So it takes you 3 days because you have too many layovers, because you want to take advantage of the lower price, let's say. See, there is no more warning here that says you registered within 24 hours of arrival time, outside of the 24 hours of your arrival time. They removed that because it's now departure time. Type of entry, airport. Port of entry, let's say NAIA. I don't even know if it's Terminal 1, Terminal 2, or Terminal 3, but let's just say that you know that at the time you got your reservation. You are not a flight crew member, you are aircraft passenger. Non-Philippine passport holder, no Philippine passport holder in my case. If you're non-Philippine passport, do that. And then, are you an OFW or non-OFW? You have been vaccinated, let's say yes. Vaccination card. I assume here that if you are a foreigner, for example, non-Philippine passport holder, and you have not been vaccinated, they will probably say you're disallowed. Vaccination card, national vaccine card. That is the card given to you when you were vaccinated. And let's say you're coming from the United States, so you're vaccinated in United States of America. Next. Here you enter your name, sex, birth date, civil status, PhilHealth number, and note here that if there is an asterisk, that red asterisk, that means it's mandatory. For example, here, this is all mandatory. Now, although this is mandatory, a lot of people don't have PhilHealth, but at least they will take, it says here, type NA if unknown. So if you don't have one, just put NA. Passport number, local Philippine number, that should be a phone number of your friend, your relative, or if you're staying in a hotel number, because in many cases, you will not have a Philippine number yet of your own. You will buy a SIM card, that is when you will get your phone number. Now, the important thing here is email address. Almost everybody has an email address now. Make sure you type the accurate email address, because that's how they will notify you that your registration has been processed. If you write the wrong email address, you will not get it back. So double check, triple check, quadruple check that, make sure it is accurate. And then select your occupation. For many people, maybe they're retired. So in which case you put retirees, or if it is not in any of this category, you type in others. Then travel details, put your the country or port of entry, port of exit, meaning the country where you're coming from. See, in this case, United States, let's say. Your airline name, your flight number, others specify flight number, good. So this is optional if you don't have the flight number yet, because that flight number could change. Your flight could change at any given moment. Date of departure, put the real date of departure. And it says here arrival time is May 10th because that is what you inputted before. So I don't even know why they need seat number, but put it in because in many cases you don't have seat number. Oh, okay, this is optional. So if you don't have a seat number yet, don't put it in. So just don't put it at all. Okay, type of traveler, your non-OFW, other. So this is fairly simple. Have you ever been vaccinated for COVID-19? Let's say yes. And then first dose. Now, they'll ask you for first and second dose. First dose. If you put Pfizer, and let's say it was in, okay, just to put a date in, second dose, it's looking for the second dose, right? You put in Pfizer again. But let's say you took, let's see what happens. Which one is that? That's only one dose. Moderna, no. It's Johnson. So in this case, if you put Johnson COVID, that's Johnson & Johnson, it immediately asks you to upload. There is no second vaccine required. Let me do the second one, Pfizer. Because there's a second one on Pfizer, it asks you for the second dose. Now you put it in, you put in the date, and let's call it, October, let's say November 5th, 1 month later, and you also say Pfizer. Now it's asking you to upload the file. So if you had Johnson & Johnson, that's only one dose. It will not ask you for the second dose. But if the vaccine you got is a 2-dose vaccine, it will ask you for the second dose. Then it will ask you for the test result. Now this one, I don't know why they had to put this. Testing laboratory in alphabetical order. What is your preference in case you need to be tested? In many cases, you will not be tested, so this is meaningless. You can select anything you want. But just in case, I would probably put Red Cross because I think there's Red Cross testing facility right at the airport, but it really shouldn't matter. I'm pretty sure you can change it once you're there. Countries traveled, for example, if you went through Germany, you went to Saigon, Vietnam, if you went through, you just have to put those in, okay? And then you click this to show that you have read all the above. You type in this CAPTCHA security code and then submit. You will be given this card that has a barcode and it has this account number. Now be careful when you see something like this. At first I looked at it as letter O, but it wouldn't work. So I tried a different number by putting 0, number 0, and it took it. So let's take a look and see how it's done. Well, like what I said before, all you have to do is to go to One Health Pass. This time, instead of registering, click on My Profile. So this is where you will put in your last name, then let's see, PHLDRHW, this time I'll put ORM. You'll see that when I put in O, it took it. It did not take it. It says authentication failed. The information you have provided cannot be authenticated. So I put it in again. PHLDRHW, and this time I'll put 0RM. This time it took it. So now this is just the verification of the registration that you made, and you can make changes to it. Now later you will need to upload the information that you did not upload before, such as the PCR test, let's say, that you're supposed to take within 24 to 48 hours, depending on whether it's PCR or antigen test. You will need to upload those. When you get the result, you will have an opportunity to do that. Then, of course, the last step is that they will send you a QR code. That is what you will use to present to the airline. However, I understand that just the barcode that you already registered is sufficient. You can just show that and you'll be able to go in. However, if you have the QR code, it is better, because the QR code will also allow you to go to the express lane. If you do not have the QR code, that means you still have certain things that are not done or not approved. You will be in the long lane. In the long lane, it takes time, whereas in the express lane, all you have to do is to show the QR codes maybe 10 times or whatever, and everything is going to be smooth going, not much waiting at all. So the purpose of this is to expedite the checking in process so that you could be processed more quickly than not having everything in place. For example, if somehow they cannot validate or verify your test result, which means you will need to be tested, you are not going to be given a QR code, in which case you could still go, but you have to show the barcode and you will go to the long line, not the express line. Okay? So hopefully this helps. They still make it a little complicated, just a little bit, but it's tolerable. So just go ahead and do it. It's common sense. You will not have any problem complying with this thing. Unlike before, that was really a headache. I don't know. I'm not in the Philippines, so I don't know how many people were affected by that error in their system. But some people say, just fake the date, you'll be able to get through. And maybe they accepted that. Maybe that's a good solution to do. Maybe that's a good solution to make to solve the problem. But anyway, they already got that fixed. And enjoy your trip to the Philippines. Please do share this with other people. I'll appreciate it if you click like on this video. And please do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so. Make it a great day, and God bless.